You're alive. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Carol Brown, and welcome back to another monthly edition of the Boozy Plan-o-Rama. I have more than just me and Lisa here today. So for those of you who aren't aware, usually what we do is once a month, towards the start of the month, we get together and we kind of plan, but we do more drinking and talking than planning, which is kind of how these things go. But I am running it, and I have sprints ready. So
Yay!
we'll at least do two, and then see what happens after that. But let's go ahead and we'll do interjections, and we'll start with Sako, and we'll work our way up to Lisa.
Okay, I have a grandfather clock going at the moment, so let's start with Lisa.
Okay, sure. I'll start. So, hi, everyone. As the
She'll try to start anyway.
Co-host of the awesome Carol Brown. Yeah. Oh no, am I frozen?
Yeah. Apparently nobody's going first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Daly.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the Boozy Plan-o-Rama. It's like the internet has been drinking all day, right? Yeah.
It got started before we did.
I know. All right, let's try it again. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah. I'm the host. Hi, I'm Carol. I'm hosting this. I wrote these books on the wall over there, and I'm planning via Notion. So now go, Lisa.
Thank you. Hi, I'm co-host of the Boozy Plan-o-Rama, and I wrote this book over here, 15 Minutes of Shame, which is coming out on February 22nd. I'm super excited about that. And over on my channel, thanks. Over on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And tonight, I will be drinking the classic rum and Coke.
I'm the designated streamer, so.
That's right.
What? I'm drinking and you're not? Plot twist.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes,
All right.
I have
Since you heckled me, Amy, you have to go next.
I am Amy Awesome Buddy. I'm an SEO consultant who, believe it or not, actually has it on the books to get back to her creative writing this month because I kind of miss it. I know. Look at Carol's face. She knows. But I've got that scheduled in, so I'm looking forward to the planning tonight so that I can kind of see what I've got due this month and when I can squeeze that in. And tonight I will be sipping on peanut butter whiskey from Screwball.
Ooh,
which
that sounds fancy.
It sounded horrific. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, no, we're not doing it. And my friend was like, yeah, we're going to do it. It sounds awful. Like, all right, fine.
Sounds awful.
And we went ahead and tried it, and it's so good. It's like a smooth whiskey and the peanut butter in the aftertaste. So it's not that weird, fake, sweet peanut butter you'd expect. So
it's a peanut butter finish.
Right? There we go.
I have gotten shit face off of that particular brand a number of times. It is...
Yeah.
That's the Carol Brown seal of approval right there.
Yeah, if I'll get shit face on it more than once, it's good shit.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's my turn. All right. Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Tonight, I'm working on my bullet journal. There we go. Yeah, pretty. Ooh,
nice.
And I'm drinking Land Shark.
Ooh, all right.
Nice. All right, cool. So let's take a look and see who's here before Lisa starts pointing out that there are people in the comment section. All right, so Jeannie's here. Hello, Jeannie. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing very well. I am also here to remind you that we will be doing things. So,
Carol will keep us on track. Thank goodness.
Because I have the mute button here. Mr. Man is here. RC's here with a joke for us to laugh at, so I'll just let you read that. Mary's here. Hello, Mary. I've been waiting for this all day. Well, I'm glad that you're here.
Hi.
Mama Ward is here. RC is also Team Water. Let's see. Rika is here. Hello. Hope you're doing well. JC's here. Hello, JC. How's your weekend been?
I literally worked all weekend without the intention of working, but I just sort of went from like one task to another. It wasn't like stressful, or I don't feel like I'm like, oh, I'm doing this and now I'm doing this other thing and now this. So but it was good other than that.
That was my weekend exactly. It was like 4:30 today before I was like, oh, okay, I got that thing. What do you mean it's Sunday afternoon and my weekend is over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had right. It seemed like it was forever this morning, but then the afternoon and the evening came very fast. So, but we still have the Boozy Plan-o-Rama to look forward to, which is pretty exciting. That's a good way to finish the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent yesterday trying to fix Tango, and I did, but it was just one of the like those brain intensive days because I was looking at plots and things like that. And then this morning was the I have to get my house in order day because like the kitchen was a mess, dishes had, and so for totally a first world problem, my dishwasher's broken, so I have to wash all the dishes by hand right now.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
That is not a first world problem. That is an existential crisis.
Yeah, so I took care of the dishes, and then there's been like an ongoing war with the spice cabinet that we have because obviously there's two people that use the kitchen, and we both have different ideas of where spices are supposed to go.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
I have like this little spice stadium thing. It's like little risers, so it goes right in your cabinet. You have it. Okay, I should have known.
So,
it's an organizational tool. Of course, you have it.
Yeah, it is. Since seriousness is here. Hello, it's been forever since I've seen you. I hope you're doing very well.
Hi.
Barrett's here. Hello, Barrett.
Hi,
Hope you're
Barrett.
doing well.
Barrett.
Yeah, hey. So Mama Ward says no alcohol for me on painkillers after 4. Oh no.
Oh no.
Sorry, friendo.
Hopefully you feel better soon.
Yeah, me too.
That's rough. That's really rough. Barrett, I'm so glad to see you. I know Barrett was having treatments. I think, was it yesterday or today? I saw on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I hope you're doing well, Barrett.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. But yeah, so I did all my adulting that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Today. So now tomorrow I get to do adulting for other people.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get the car detailed, but that didn't make the list at all.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Well, that's a lot of stuff. We should be planning where we're going to do those things, right?
You want to do a sprint in the first 10 minutes? Are you okay?
I'm so. Can you show me? Hold on. I want to be big. I'll tell you why. Ready? Okay. I went crazy at the Procrastiplanner store, and look what I got, you guys. What? Yeah. They're all like little. What? Hold on. These book promo sites. Write in like we do on Wednesdays. Wait, YouTube Live. I've got it. It's like, it's crazy. Email stickers and deadline stickers and okay, yeah. that concludes my thing. I'm so excited. I literally spent like $75 at her store.
Woohoo.
That's so nice though.
I know. Well, thank you. The crazy thing is, right? It's like, oh, that's $3, and I'm like, well, I'll have 4 of those, and I need 2 of those, and then all of a sudden, you spent $75. Yes, and all of a sudden, you spent $75 at the Procrastiplanner store. So I feel good about my purchase. I'm excited about it.
I'm sure she feels good about your purchase too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, did you say Sky and you have that problem, Amy? I thought I heard
the Tool notebooks, because nothing in the Tool brand is cheap.
No.
So if you buy like 3 things, you're getting pretty close to triple digits.
Yeah.
And so both of us have been in Office Max. Like, let's count this before we walk up to the register, just so that we know how much this is going to hurt.
Just for giggles. Well, what I thought was really cool is, you know how Etsy gives you like a little shipping range of like, oh, it's going to get here between this and this. Well, it was not supposed to arrive until after the Boozy Plan-o-Rama. But I did mention we were having one, and they arrived before then, and I thought that was really nice. So I get to share. Really nice. So I get to share all my with you guys, because I was such a spaz. I was going to wait to open them, and of course I could not do that. Rip open the package. I know, I'm such a nerd. All right, I'm good.
Self-control when it comes to waiting for stuff like that. We've joked about it before, like the rewards when you reach a milestone. No, like just give me my thing now, and when I get there, I get there. I can't handle it.
I learned how to use emojis as stickers in Notion.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And
I
then-
love Notion so much.
And then I learned how to make my own emojis, and so like there's certain parts of Notion that I just have like pictures everywhere, but we're not going to get into that. So
No,
It is a way to plan.
because
It is a way to.
fascinated.
It is a way to plan stuff. And now Carol and I have a joint Notion page for a little project that we're working on. And when I saw Carol did like picture covers for all of her little tasks in Notion, and I'm like, oh, I need to do that. So now all my tasks in Notion have little pictures. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm so excited. I learned so much.
I noticed that about Google Keep as well. I was like, wait a minute, I can have pictures as like the header for my note. Oh,
yeah, and then if you really want to get fancy with it, you get the dimensions to make it look a certain way, and you go into Canva and you tell Canva I want it to look at this size, and then it will just automatically do it for you. Yeah. That was 6 hours of my life I'm not going to get back.
Yeah, it can get away from you.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Oh, wait, I did do this. Okay, sorry. Now I'm looking at did I do these things today? Did I wash my sheets? Yep, washed my sheets.
All right. I'm excited about this. I have a lot of planning because obviously I have a book launch coming this month, and some stuff is already in the works, but I do have lots and lots to do before the month is over. So I'm very enthusiastic about that.
Well, then I'll tell you what. Let's dive into
your
a
website
sprint.
happen to be one of those things? Just out of general curiosity.
It is I know it's been on my list, Amy, for a really long time, and it has moved up my list because I realized that when I was looking for something or sending you something, that it had been over a year since we talked about it, and I was like, oh, holy smokes, it cannot be this hard for me to send you notes. So
it goes fast, so fast.
It does go so fast. So yes, it is. I don't know if it'll be in February, but I'm just being real here. But yeah, it's a priority this year. It's on one. It's and it moved up on the list. It's got a bullet, so hopefully it'll get done. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to do a sprint now that there's somebody's breeze. Okay, so while we're doing a sprint, I'm going to throw this question up, and it's what kind of planner do you use? Because I know we all like to nerd about that.
We do.
So I have put that in here, and we will get to it in just a second. So last time we did a sprint for a whopping 10 minutes, right? And I'm about to baffle you because now we're going to do it for a whole 15 minutes.
What?
I know, that extra 5. I don't know what you'll do.
Assemble my sticker army.
Hold on. I gotta move Amy. There we go.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. I'm excited about this. For some reason, the comments are just ending with no ability to actually continue commenting. So I might have to hop this over to.
Yeah, I noticed the other day when I was trying to have my stream that for some reason StreamYard wouldn't show all the comments. So I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so for those of you who came in, hello, I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get this started. So we're going to just do this in 3, 2, 1. Happy planning. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We're back. Okay, so feel free to share what you did, how you did, and all that goodness. But before we do that, I do want to say hello to some folks that did pop in while we were busy working away. I think I didn't say directly hello to Sky when she came in, but hello, Sky. It's good.
Hi, Sky.
She is kind enough to remind you guys that if you love us, you'll hit the like button because that tells us that you love us. But if you don't love us, then, well, okay, that's fine. Aphrodite is here. Hello, Aphrodite. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Digging the silence. Yeah, sometimes I don't know, like we either write in silence or we just kind of click our keyboards really loudly. It's one or the other. Sky says, I have stickers and cards I need to send out. You know, I saw you post that, and the first thing I thought was like, I have a whole bunch of Christmas cards that I still haven't sent. In fact, I think I just kind of like shoved them off to the side at this point because I'm like, we're in February. Nobody's going to want a Christmas card right now. So.
You could just get started on them for next year, and everybody would be like, "Oh my God, Caro's so organized. She got her Christmas cards out in March."
Maybe that's something I need to put in my planner. Christmas cards. No, stop timer. Stop.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. And then okay, so let's all the nice folks on the screen say what we got done, and now I'm gonna pick on Lisa because she's my co-host. So go, Lisa.
So I'm doing some newsletter swaps, and so when you do that, you have to plan your newsletters ahead of time. You can't just randomly send them out. And so I was busy using my new stickers to put all the scheduled newsletters on in my book. So that's what I did on the sprint. Newsletters galore.
Nice.
Nice.
What about you, Sako?
I planned my week. I got it all drawn out. I got it all filled in.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I guess at this point I could like delineate like what projects I work on what day, but
or you could go to the next week. I always try to get the month done.
I could, but I try not to do that.
Oh, really? That's so funny. I always try to get the whole month, like at least, really sort of sketched out during the Boozy Plan-o-Rama, just so I have a really good idea of what I'm doing and I can prioritize the creative work before other life stuff starts getting in the way.
Right.
Yeah, because we love life stuff here.
It's always so kind and supportive and gentle.
And easy to write around, right?
Yeah.
Never at all life-threatening and distressing and completely distracting.
No, never that.
Like one of my bosses, because I told him I woke up at 5 a.m. and he's like, "Why do you wake up at 5 a.m.?" It's like, because you motherfuckers are asleep and I can get stuff done.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the 5 a.m. writing club. I get more done in the first 2 hours of the day than I do at any other time. Huge fan.
Yeah.
I think
I know when I rolled out of bed, like the first thing I did was like clean the kitchen, wash the dishes, sweep the floors, do the laundry and stuff like that. And then like I think an hour and a half in, Mr. Brown came in. He was kind of like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm adulting."
I was trying to do the creative stuff first because I figure I don't need that much brain power for things like doing the dishes, even though that means dishes and things like that sit longer than you maybe would like. But I'd always rather knock out the creative work first thing in the morning. Ooh, Mary.
Yeah, overwhelming, more accessible. Multi-planner systems includes notebooks, binders, and printables, etc. Huh,
nice. Love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get torn. I actually have to exercise in the morning. Like that's the very first thing that I have to do, especially because when like crunch time happens, like the first thing that I throw out is YouTube, and the next thing I throw out is my fitness. And I like the fitness I really can't do without at this point because even my doctor was like, "Nope, you got to do that again." I was like, "Oh, come on, man." So
yeah.
So. I actually, part of what I did was add a 10K challenge. Like, so I have to do 10,000 steps a day.
Good for you.
Yeah. So one way or another, but I tried to get about, because it's 2,000 steps for each mile, right? And so I run 3 miles in the morning. So like, that's my first 6,000. Then I just try to like clean the house a lot after that.
Do you still have, I know that before you moved that you had a treadmill that you would walk on, run on, work on. And but I wondered if you moved it, because it, like, I remember seeing in the videos that it was like one of the like big treadmills, and those things are so heavy that I thought it might have been crazy expensive to, like, not worth it to move it, that it would cost you more to move it than it would to get a new one in your new place.
Ironically, of all the things that did not break in the moves, the treadmill made it safely.
What?
Yeah, so but yeah, I have it in there, and I don't, like, sometimes I'm kind of like, I need to write and walk at the same time, and then I don't know why, but like that part of my brain that's just kind of like, no, we're not doing that right now. It's just like, no. And so then I'll go in the kitchen and start writing. I don't know why. The kitchen is the magical place where I get like the bulk of my creative writing done. So I just gave up, and that's just
no. You just have to go with that. I've had periods where I would write in the dining room, where I just have, like, I have a lovely office. I have a nice lanai. The dining room has traffic, but in my old house, I used to have this big hibiscus tree right outside my dining room window, and it was so pretty, and it had little crystals in it, like hanging in it, which is because like one of the landscaper guys had like cut it wrong, and so all the branches were like poking out. So I actually put these big heavy crystals on it to weigh the branches down so it would stand right again. But I liked them so much that I just left them. After the tree like grew the way it was supposed to again, I just left them on there. So I had this like sparkly, flowery tree outside my window, which is very magical. And so I think that's why I like the dining room. It matched my glasses, sparkly and magical.
So instead of super glad, it's super glam.
Super glam.
Super glam. That's me, except my crazy hair today. All right. So let's talk about this. We have a lot of early morning people. Hi, Claude.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about why we wake up early in the morning? Or?
Well, I just saw Ray wakes up usually between 4 and 5 in the morning. That's like so early. What are you doing, Ray, when you first wake up in the morning? Are you like writing, or are you doing something else? Or are you just like, I can't sleep, I'm going to watch. There we go. Carol Brown is me, Godzilla 2000.
Hello, Godzilla 2014. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
I love that.
See, there's awesome love. There's love for your glasses.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I would totally love to talk about why some people like to wake up early, because I know there's like.
No, thank you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on the person, because I know there was a guy who used to be a general. I think it was in the Army, and he left, and he talked about why waking up at 4 a.m. was the best thing that we could do for ourselves. I don't know if you read that book.
I did, and I know exactly who he is, and I can't think of the name. I can't
remember his name either. He's always that general guy to me.
Yeah, I can totally picture the book cover though, and I cannot remember. I'll think of it. But probably 5 to 10 hours after the stream ends. I am not but when I was younger, I was definitely not a morning person, and I thought for certain once I had like control over my own schedule, like on days like when I don't have to take a kid to school, that I would revert to sleeping really late and staying up really late, but I really don't. I still keep waking up. So, except in the summer. By the summer, we're like out doing stuff all the time, and then we're all stay up late, sleep at night, or sleep late.
I got into the habit when I was growing up because I have a farmer family, and so we were always up before the sun, was even thinking about rising. And then I ended up just always wanting to wake up earlier, just because there were times where it's like, I need to get stuff done, but the things that stop me from getting things done wake up when I tend to wake up. So I have to, I have to get up before them. Granted, I will admit that when I'm having like a depressive episode, like getting me out of bed before 8 a.m. is probably pretty hard to do. So
that is the truth.
Yeah. Jacob is here. We love Jacob.
My household starts at 5 a.m. That's what time my people need to get up so they can be ready to go at 6.
That's so
early. The first hour and a half of my day, and it's been less lately because I can't do that anymore with my medical issues, but I still try to. Them being up still wakes me up. My biological clock is still programmed for 5. So, ours is just necessity. And in the summertime, I'm usually outside gardening by like 6:30 because
because it's hot, right?
Yeah, I can water everything before the sun even makes it through the trees. So That's why I maintain it even in the wintertime, even though it's miserable being awake in the cold for 2 hours waiting for the sun to come up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Whew.
Oh, I love that, Claude. That's so
Mhm.
fantastic. Good for you. I'm so glad you're using that time.
Yeah, me too. So I was actually trying to pull something up so that way. Okay, there we go. Sorry, because that screen, like, I needed to like have light on me, or it looks like it's dark over here and light over here. So, but Sako, you said that you were not an AM person.
I'm a night owl. So like I would rather stay up until 6 in the morning rather than go to bed at 10 and wake up at 6.
Ah.
I might as well just stay up.
I understand that completely. I used to be that person. Now I'm like, whoo, is it 8:30 already? Mike's like, we're not going to bed. Like, no.
Let's see. Jacob watched Godzilla vs. King Kong on HBO Max. Ah, that's awesome. Glad that you did that, Jacob. Let's see. And then Mama Ward says, I need to feed the goats before the sun it hits 3 fingers above the horizon, or they get hangry and yell at the house, which makes the dogs bark. That sounds like a goat thing. Yeah. Yeah. When you have livestock, yeah. So, yeah. Man, Sako's outnumbered here. Early birds versus the night owl.
Yeah.
Isn't that
The
interesting?
token night owl.
It's good. I do. I mean, it is interesting. Like, so people who are naturally morning people, and I don't even know what category I'd fall into, because like I said, for most of my life, I was always a night owl. It wasn't until I had to like every day take kids to school early that I started being more of a morning person. And I'm still not, like, I still need it like quiet in the morning. But I remember reading something about how night owls like get progressively more productive all day, and they sort of hit a peak at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whereas morning people are really productive in the morning and then they decline all day.
That's me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm looking at the list of things. I'm like, what can I put off until tomorrow? Because I'm ready to wrap this day up.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, see, JC's with you, Sako. I can't stay up until 6
wow.
anymore. Mm-hmm.
Is that true, JC? She has such a full life too, so I'm like amazed. Does that mean you get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep? Yeah, right. If I didn't have to worry about any other things and when I didn't, like in the summertime, I think that's what I will write really late at night, and same thing, sleep early. But when I'm on the schedule of like taking kids to school and things like that.
Well, let me ask you guys, since we all have different schedules, but do you guys do morning pages when you wake up? You know, where you kind of write down your thoughts and stuff like that? Do you do that?
No.
I like to do that before I crash.
That's
Than I do it when
I do it at the end of my work day. That's the closest I get. And it's not by any means a morning page. It's just the way my household and my personal schedule line up. Like 4 to 5 is my wrap up, my work day time before 5 starts cooking dinner and then everybody starts coming home. So I don't do morning pages, but I do that from like 4 to 5. My wrap up the end of the day usually also has like my thoughts for the day, even though I technically still have 4 to 6 more hours of the day left.
Right.
So.
That I do not do that type of morning page. When I'm writing in the morning, I'm working on a project. Like I'm working on whatever book or whatever that I'm doing. So I don't do a lot of like those kind of writing exercises though, unless I'm plotting and trying to figure out how a story goes, and then I'm more likely
like brain dumping.
Yeah, I'm more likely to kind of doodle around and figure out, try and figure things out. But once I write it down, usually I just sleep through. Like I'll sleep and then get it. Like it'll pop up to me. What are you about to say?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. I guess with morning pages, I was thinking kind of like the verbal, like the emotional vomiting that you might do in order to get like your thoughts together. But you don't have to do that because you're like up and you're like, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
yeah, me too.
Yeah. The morning pages was recommended to me. It was like, it's time to record your feelings, and I was like, do I have to? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, Okay.
How does that work though? If it's first thing in the morning, are you writing the things that basically are left over from the day before, things that are immediately on your mind first thing in the morning? Because you haven't had the day happen for shit to annoy you yet.
That's a great question, which may have been why I was like, do you guys do morning pages in the morning or do you do them at night?
I think I'm more inclined to write my dreams when I first wake up, and then like if I'm keeping a journal, which I often do, I'll do it late at night.
That's pretty interesting.
I
So, go ahead. What were you going to say?
was just gonna say, I picked up a piece of advice years ago, and I can't even remember where I heard it, but I know it was actually writing advice, and they said always end your writing for a day when you know what's about to happen next. That way you can immediately come back to it. And I love that idea so much that like that's kind of how I do my job. Like at the end of the day, that's why that 4 to 5 recap is for me, because at the end of my day, I plan what I am starting when I come back tomorrow. I know what I'm coming back to.
I feel like that's a Stephen.
So-
I feel like that's a Stephen King thing.
Is
I
it?
think he.
I know
Yeah, I
it's
think.
writing advice. I know
Yeah.
that, but I had no idea where.
I
or
think
when
it was
got
a Steve. I think it's a Stephen King thing. I always think it's interesting when, like, one piece of writing advice, I think if you struggle to sort of start, which I usually don't, when I'll read the pages from before, like from the day before and then go. But if you struggle to start in the morning or in the afternoon, whenever you start writing, one really good tip, and it's not mine, but I don't remember where I heard it, was, although it could also be Stephen King, is to basically stop in the middle of a sentence. Because your brain can't stand and it's like it wants to get going. And
I've tried this. I've tried this in the past, and really, I end up just deleting the half a sentence and starting over again.
Well, that's
because I was like, "What was my thought? I don't even remember what my thought was."
Its whole goal, though, is to get you going, and so if you're deleting it and just starting it, like that's another way of getting you going. So, all right, I have stickers.
King Red Spy read the game online wants me to know that Jacob, the King Red Spy, read. This is really hard for me to do as somebody with dyslexia, by the way. It saw Mecha Godzilla, the Nightmare, in Godzilla versus Kong. That's super cool, Jacob. Thank you for sharing that with me. Whew. Speaking of stuff that's super cool, another productivity sprint would be really cool right now. I hope you like that segue.
That was awesome.
Question? Oh shit! Did we answer the question?
Oh, did we answer the question? No, actually we didn't. Let's answer the question first and then we'll do it. So what planner do you use, Lisa?
Erin Condren.
Yay!
Yay. How about you, Sacco?
Ooh, handwritten
Bujo.
Bujos.
It's kind of, Bujo. I have a tracker for my week workload. I've got I track my sleep. I track my gratitude. I have 3 goals a day, and I've got room for notes.
Awesome.
Nice. I wonder who this 5-minute warm-up person is. I can't help but wonder who that is, Lisa. I just, it's escaping me. What about you, Amy? You still using the tool?
Yep. Sky got me hooked on the tool, and I have so many tool resources that I'm still really enjoying it. Like, I've got a good system for between my clients and my notebooks. Like I have like 7 notebooks because I have to track so many different things, but it all works because on this end of my desk, there's just enough room between my computer screen and the wall for those 7 notebooks. So all 7 notebooks are immediately at my reach. As soon as I'm like, oh, I need to put that in that notebook, I can do it immediately. So I don't struggle with the multi-notebook system as much. But I have realized that I don't know if it's left over from when I used to be a super nerd or not, but I have to do my schoolwork in a 3-ring binder. I tried to do my schoolwork in a tool notebook, and my brain will not stop trying to work on my schoolwork for me to actually sit down and be like, oh, okay, I got to take notes. I got to study. I have to put it in a 3-ring binder. So I also have a 3-ring binder stuck over there because I take like a lot of courses all the time. So
You know what? I love three. I always put my manuscripts in 3-ring binders and keep them after the fact.
I had a cute somebody. I saw it on Pinterest somewhere, and I started doing it this year because I had a couple of things left over from Christmas. But somebody was talking about having a memory notebook, and it's basically like a combination between a scrapbook and a journal.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's meant for the things that you want to keep, but you would normally put them in a scrapbook, like, receipts, movie ticket receipts, or
Right.
like my boyfriend bought me this cute little fox statue and it came with this little card and he wrote a note on it. So you keep little stuff like that. And
That's
it's just a 3-ring binder and you don't worry about organizing it or decorating it. Really, you just put the stuff in there and put what the significance of it is. And they were like, it's just a 3-ring binder, and the thicker your paper, the better. Cardstock is sturdier, so you don't have to worry about it ripping so much. But I started doing that, and it actually really works for me because scrapbooking is just way more money and effort than I want to put into stuff. But I keep all those little things, movie stubs, like they're everywhere. All those little things are everywhere. So I've started trying that one this year.
I
And
love
so
that.
far, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's perfect for this has significance to me. I just need to put it somewhere. Just stick it in your memory notebook.
That's awesome.
I tried to do a journal like that, where you basically remember all the good things that have happened to you throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, etc. And I wrote a journal for a year, and then at the end of the year, I reread the journal from cover to cover and found out that it was actually a record of all the abuse I was suffering.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, I gotta do things about my relationship.
I said oh no, but actually that's the kind of, like, how valuable was that? Like when you read it all together and you see the big picture of it versus like
I
living
basically
through
left
the
my
day-to-day.
husband for like a week. Yeah.
That is, it's always good whatever the big picture is that when you can get that overview.
I had to stop doing the gratitude journal, just, my own moment of self-realization. I had to stop doing it because I realized I was putting too much pressure on myself to value, like, what do I think and what am I grateful for? Like, instead of just letting it happen naturally and showing my, returning affection and all that kind of stuff, I started pressuring myself, like, what am I grateful for? What are these things? I started looking for stuff online, like, what are examples of shit to be grateful for? And I was like, you know what? It stressed me out so much. It made me feel ungrateful. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna let that one go.
Empty more than
not. And that makes you feel even worse.
Yeah.
Probably the worst way to use
a dark turn.
Yeah, probably the worst way to use a planner, and I don't have a great segue to change the topic of the conversation. So this is our next question here. So what are you hoping to get done by the end of this month? So that's what we're going to think about while we do this next sprint.
Love it. I love that question, Carol. That's so good.
Yes, I try really hard. So we're going to focus on this for 15 minutes and then work on what we really want to get done by the end of the month, your priority task. Figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and start this timer in 3, 2, 1, and we'll be back in 15. Stickers and litter.
Woo!
Clearly got into my planning space. So, how'd you do? What'd you do? How did your planning go?
I applied stickers.
Oh, I think you're muted, Lisa.
Blah 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 blah.
I'm like, you were talking away and we couldn't hear you.
I was talking away. I was saying that I was like so into like, okay, I've got to get this done. I've got this, because you know how it is with like marketing activities, right? That there are so many little mini things that you have to do. And so I'm trying to transfer everything from my Notion, like my big book promo list, to actually practical, like what days am I doing those things on in my actual planner. So yeah, I was like in the zone, surprised when we came back. Yeah.
I was also in the zone, but I was so I figured out what the big thing that I wanted to get done for the month was, which technically, hi, can I help you? Sorry. It was two things, because there's a thing for work, and then there's obviously the book I want to finish writing. So those are the two big things that I want to get done. And then I was also going through like, what books do I want to read this month? So I was going through, and so far, and I'm just going to tell you the genres of the books that I've been reading so far. So we have fiction, nonfiction, romance, nonfiction, romance, nonfiction. That's what I've read so far.
Now
I
I'm
think my next
sensing a
book is gonna be
trend.
romance.
Yes. That's pretty much what my reading list looks like. Romance, nonfiction, romance, nonfiction, romance, nonfiction. Whew. All right.
Mine is like nonfiction, fiction. Nonfiction.
Well, it's all good.
There's just one nonfiction book called The Psychology of Money that I want to finish reading. Like, I read like the first like 5 pages of it, and I was like, this is the good shit. And it was like one of those things where it's like, I have to read Lisa's book first, and then I'm going to read this book.
I think you meant I get to read Lisa's book first, right? Not I'm just kidding.
Like that.
There was I know, I was just teasing you. There was a deadline for reading mine because you guys were doing the thing on Tamara's stream. So yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time, like for fun, not actually a hard time.
Yeah, no, I finished your book like pretty early, actually.
I know. You took so many notes. I was like, I did like so spaz out over that yesterday.
CJ definitely took more notes than I did because she was showing me them later, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely some in-depth stuff. Like, there's a lot to take away from in your book. Like, not to make this the Lisa Daily promo, spotlight moment, but that book that you wrote is completely amazing. You should tell people about it because I'm pretty sure they didn't come to Writer's Workshop.
I should. Wait, hold on. Do I have it? No, I do not have it. It's back on the bookshelf. I wrote a book called How to Become a Famous Romance Author. Hold on.
If anybody else has books they want to promo while they're here, you should grab them. Oh, hey.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken my headphones out. Anyway, so I wrote this book about how to become a famous romance author, which is all about how to get publicity for your book, whether you're writing romance or not. So thank you for the plug. Now let's return to our planning, our regularly scheduled program.
Buy Lisa's book.
Thank you, Caro.
You even in that book talked about planning.
I do, because that's how big of a planner nerd I am. All right. Well, that is part of like, not that book, but the 15 Minutes of Shame, the launches this month. That is my big plan for the month, to actually pull off a reasonably okay book launch. That's my goal. I'm getting a late start, but it is happening. And so I'm going like, okay, I'm good with this.
What about you, Sako? Did I miss it?
Did I brag about the book that I released in December? That one?
Yeah.
BC Brown and I wrote an urban fantasy mystery thriller horror book. I write the horror, she writes the mystery. It was a good time.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Called Flambeau if you want to buy
Oh,
it.
yeah, I was like, what's it called? Like, where did we find it?
Available wherever books are sold. Okay, so what is everybody doing? What about you, Amy? What's your big goal?
Oh, I have a professional goal to basically like repolish my portfolio. I
Ooh.
was invited to join this like marketing website, and I'm pretty sure I didn't like stand out or anything. I just had the letters SEO in my LinkedIn page, and that was all it took for me to make this list. But I'm interested, so I'm working on polishing my portfolio this month, and gonna look into maybe applying to that, or at least looking into it after I finish doing that. So
Cool.
That's awesome.
polish
That's
my
Aphrodite.
portfolio.
Aphrodite has your book, Sako.
Oh, yay! Yay, I hope you like it.
I think that's true. I think that's totally true. Yeah, there's some weird stuff in ancient Egypt for sure.
Yeah. What's the big thing that you're working on this month, Sako? I totally missed that.
This month I am working on a 6-page full color comic.
Cool.
It is basically when I had a conversation with God in 2008.
Nice. That would be very intriguing. Where are you going to put it at?
I don't know yet. Cool. Besides Patreon, yeah, I don't know yet.
That's awesome. Margaret, I don't know how to say this word. Maitake, is that how you say it?
Maitake.
Maitake. Egg, toast, and now soup, 4 courses.
Cool.
Nice.
It sounds much fancier than the Chinese food that I had.
Flambeau for the win! Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Aphrodite's gone to bed. Good night, Aphrodite.
Good
Thanks
night,
for coming around.
Aphrodite.
Sleep well. Oh, look, here's a link to the trailer for those of you who want to see it. There you
Yay!
go.
Love the
Nice.
trailer. There's a very nice trailer that Adrian Santiago was nice enough to make for us.
Oh, that's so cool. All right.
All right, so that was
Did we
exciting.
get Heather's thing? She's got so much going on here.
I know, right?
Look at that. Short videos, editing, sales, writing. Busy.
Busy.
Very nice.
I wasn't sure if she wanted to redo it because she said she had to edit it.
So here I just called her out.
It's okay.
Very nice.
She's like, I think that's my cue to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, once Aphrodite's asleep, you know.
Let's see. I was trying to. Oh, I asked these questions before. I don't like asking these questions. I'm making a new question right now.
Okay.
All
All right. Fantastic. So I have a question. So a lot of us have just a publishing exclusive planner. I
do. I have to admit, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have projects that are writing related but not your publishing related, do you put them in or not? In your publishing planner?
Say that again?
So if you have let's say you had a writing project, let's say you were assigned to write an article from some publication, but it didn't have anything to do with your regular write, like you're not promoting something.
I would totally include that, though.
You would include it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I include all of my personal promotion stuff. I basically schedule myself in as a client, so I keep all my personal stuff in my client notebook.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sign yourself in as a client.
That's fascinating.
Totally necessary.
Huh. I hadn't thought about that. That's pretty cool.
All right. Well, that's a great question to ask. So how do you track your planning, your writing and your publication? Maybe that's not the right word I want to use. Hold on.
Okay.
How do you plan? Right now, for me, it's a little bit of an ongoing process because, like, for example, I've got like that newsletter that comes out on Wednesdays, right?
Right.
Initially, it was like newsletter goes out on Wednesday. Like, that's what I put on there. And then what I forgot and I ended up adding, which is kind of like I have to edit the thing for Wednesday on Monday. I have to format it on Tuesday, and then I have to push send on Wednesday, right?
Right.
I had to start breaking it down. And you can really break stuff down into tinier steps, obviously, with book publishing, because you've got that whole 3-month promo that you typically do before you basically hit like the big publish button.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so how do you plan your writing and your publication?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I hate to say this, but I actually use Mandy Lynn's planner as kind of like a skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And then I build upon that in my 5-year planner. And I kind of like, yeah, she has kind of like a hit list, a little bullet list of all the things that you should hit when you're publishing and stuff like that. And I use that as a skeleton.
I actually haven't seen the Mandy Lynn thing, so that's why I'm kind of like, tell me more, because I'm ignorant.
It's purple, right? Is it
the purple one.
Yeah, I did buy that.
There are things about it that I'm not like super keen on, but because I mean we're in the time of COVID, right? So there are some things that kind of aren't doable.
Sure.
But overall, like even the virtual stuff, like it's not bad. And the only drawback is that the dailies are missing a week.
Oh, that's interesting. So for me, and again, I'm coming from a much different background. I was the director of PR for a long time for a publisher, and so her very abbreviated schedule feels like to me when I read it, I was like, she's starting too late.
She's starting too late.
She's starting too late. Like that was the thing, is I felt like, there are things on there that were a month ahead where I was like, oh, I would have started that 4 months ahead. So I think it's just,
I have to agree. Yeah.
So, and I like her, and I like her videos. And so, we actually talked about this on Saturday, like how hard it is if you like someone and they put out something that you're not madly in love with, like that you go, like, you on one hand you want to be supportive, and on the other hand you're like, eh. So it's a tough thing.
It's like when your friend shows up with like that dress you told them to not wear, and you're like, okay, cool.
So yeah, we're ready to go then. Yeah.
I want to find some way to get a hold of her so I can tell her she's missing a week in her planner.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I remember watching when I first started AuthorTube, I feel like I remember watching like a big video where she'd gotten like crates of them in her garage or something. So it's possible it's too late to fix, and we're just going to have to do this. Like maybe that's the week when everybody takes a rest, right? Just plan it for maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can make it work. It's cool. It's cool. We can do this. We're writers. We can create a week right out of our heads. So anyway.
Yeah, that was
just for anybody looking. If you find just for anybody who's watching, if you happen to find typos or whatever my stuff, because most of my stuff right now is self-published, please let me know. I can go fix it.
Right? Isn't that the best thing? I know I was saying this about the thing about writing workshop on Tamara's channel, was that like if you guys had torched the book, I was like, just tell me what's wrong with it, and I can, like, anything that's indie published, you can always go fix, which was one of the most beautiful things about it. Upload a new file and you're all better.
Absolutely.
Well, Lisa knows I would have just messaged her and been like, hey, you need to publish that book for a week.
I do book formatting, right? And I just formatted a book for a dear friend. And the first time I went to format it, I found all these typos. I found all these like grammatical mishaps. And I was like, you might want to do one more pass before I finish formatting this book. So being the last line of defense before it actually hits the press, is kind of nice.
And most book formatters will not do that extra service. So yeah, so that's a solid. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you to do that.
I do it no, I do it free of charge. Like
Oh, that's so
I
sweet.
just feel like they should know that there is trouble ahead before.
Well, if they don't, yeah, if they don't, the readers will certainly tell them on Amazon. So you'd much rather hear it ahead of time than, yeah,
There
exactly.
was one person that was on AuthorTube. I don't know if they're still here because obviously I live in a foxhole and I don't really come out very often, right? But they came out with a book and I felt like a total D. But what I did is I took a screenshot of my Kindle and then I put it on the computer and I circled all the typos and I emailed it just on the one page. And I was like, hey, I think you should fix that.
Right. And you never know if they like uploaded the wrong file or something squirrely happened.
Yeah, at one point, like part of the font had just changed colors. So I guess whoever was editing it had like used, and when they told me that their editor would change the color of the font, I was like, no, they literally like purposely tried to not font color change for this reason.
Yeah.
So,
if anybody gives me something to beta read, I do everything to it that I possibly can because I can't stop myself.
Yeah, me too.
Carol has joked about me catching things with continuity of like, I beta read somebody's erotica one time, and it was this really steamy scene where the man had 5 limbs and the girl had 6. And
wait, the man had what, 5 limbs?
This was not mine, by the way.
He's a regular adult man. And in the story, I'm like, yeah, no, he can't have 3 arms and 2 legs. Like, he can't be holding Hunter with both arms and 1 arm up there too. Like, I see those little things, and I have to, like, I correct every typo, every grammatical error that I come up with. I cannot not.
Well, you're a dream beta reader then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I feel like an asshole.
No.
I've beta read a couple things for Caro, and there's a couple of her things that she knows I'm excited, and I'm like, give it to me now whenever she says she has a beta version of it.
Wait, will you pop up Athena's comment, because Athena does the exact same thing that I thought.
It wasn't his arm.
I was trying to keep it clean.
I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, no, had 6 limbs by that count. Then I.
But
oh, so bad.
I do love beta readers because like I sent my recent thing that I finished up to a couple people, and one of them was a guy, and I was kind of like, I just need you to read it because I know guys read my stuff too, so I need somebody else, who's not my circle. And so he read it, and there was like a couple of parts. He's like, I probably, if I was a woman, I would know what this is, but I need you to explain it to me.
You know what? That's just a public service, honey. That's just awesome. That's just a public service.
Well, yeah. It was ballerina tip nails. He didn't know what that was. So.
Oh. Okay. All right.
That's okay. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. It's a French manicure with a little pink on the ends, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that's something else?
No, it's the shape of the nail. So it's like, it's basically, it is kind of mostly like oval round, but like at the very end, instead of it being completely oval, they just kind of shave it off like the ballerina toe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Because I swear to God, I'm pretty sure that I have asked for that thinking that it was a French manicure with pink tips. That's
no, I mean, they'll do that. They'll do that too. Yeah. But,
yeah. But I could have ended up with like really different. I don't remember it. Maybe they didn't know either.
Maybe they didn't know either. Yeah.
I always ask the ladies that do my nails about nail stuff because I spend an hour every 2 weeks in their presence. So I'm like, tell me about your job. I don't know jack. So I know everything from acrylic to like organic powder to like the shapes of nails. The little white stuff on your nail meat. Like they tell me.
You're educating us all tonight. Yeah. Not just that gentleman. Okay. Not just that gentleman. Oh my goodness gracious. Doll agrees with Sako and with me. Hi, Doll. for
No
Amy,
corrections for the best.
right?
Oh my
Corrections
gosh.
are good.
I was lucky enough for Hope's Chest. I was lucky enough to get Morgan Hazelwood to beta for me. Like the developmental stuff that she threw my way was just chef's
Really
kiss.
great. Oh, that's
Oh my
awesome.
god. So if I can
glad
like
to hear
get
Ryan
any
enjoy
of
it
her
so
free
much.
time, I am on it.
I'm
That's
not
awesome.
always
So far,
gentle
so
about
far
it.
only Mama Ward knows what it was. So I appreciate you, Mama Ward. Thank you.
Very
Mama,
nice.
Mama
Very
Ward knew.
nice. I have to say, I spend plenty of time in the pedicure chair, but I don't generally get my nails done. I don't get my fingernails done. No manicure, because I always like, I'm a hard typist, and so I get my toes done, but I don't get just the pedicure, but I don't get polish on my manicure, and I usually get them cut fairly short.
Yeah, I am.
I like doing my own nails.
Me too.
Partially because I do use my hands so much, you know, being a country girl, that, you know, after like 4 days, I'm lucky if every single nail isn't chipped on the end. So I'm like, you know what? I just fix it, start over, pick a new color. I've got more nail polish than I can count, probably.
I do love a nice manicure. I just
Yeah, what's nail polish? Like guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I get my nails done is because on top of being like a chronic stress person, I also like bite my nails really bad. And so this basically keeps me from getting in there. So I do it for my own good.
No, it's good. Well, and just like the self-care aspect of it,
That's what it is for me.
Yeah,
It's kind of
marvelous.
zen for me to sit down because there's only so much I can do when I paint my nails.
Oh yeah, it's great.
So I have to commit to sitting down for like an hour. I'm just gonna cruise the internet and look at Pinterest for an hour.
Right, or read those gossipy magazines that you never read except if you're on an airplane. I love it.
So since we're on this topic, do you guys plan your self-care time?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't used to. But now that my health issues are much more prevalent, and if I don't take care of myself, I feel like shit. So I have to start scheduling some things. And I realized that there's stuff that I like to do. Like I like to do my skincare routine on my face. Like I really do. I don't even look in the mirror, but I just like to massage my face. It's relaxing.
Oh yeah.
And so my shower routine, if I go ahead and do everything, takes like an hour. You know, your ladies, you know, it can take a long time the more stuff you add to it. And I realized the other day, you know what, if I just allot an hour to take a 10-minute shower, I'm going to be able to do all that other stuff that I want to do. So I have started allotting my self-care on like my weekdays, but my weekends, I never know what's going to happen on my weekends. So yeah, not only on my weekdays, it helps because I'm really getting to that OCD level where I'm really like accounting for every hour now.
Yeah, that stuff. I love that. In Memord, I think that is such a good tip. I just love that time in the chair, in the pedicure chair. I do schedule that stuff, although I have to say I'm way overdue for a pedicure right now because I didn't go like when, I'm in Florida and when the whole Omicron thing was like really, really ramping up. I'm like, I can live without that for a while. Couple of weeks. Keep everybody healthy. Send serious. Oh, goodness.
What's a blackout period for your job?
It's when you can't take time off.
Oh, okay.
Or at least that's what it meant where I used to work. But feel free to educate us because this is all about educating each other today.
It is, right? Now we know
blackout period to ballerina nails.
YouTube University.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think you're exactly right that it's time when you can't take off, where it's like if you work in retail, you can't take off during the holidays and things like that.
Yeah.
Or if you work at a university, you can't take off.
Like,
can't take off during application season and things like that.
Right now, so I get it.
Ooh. I don't want to talk about cuticles anymore.
Okay. All right. So I asked you guys how you plan your writing and your publication. Do you use like a block time? Like what do you do?
Yes.
I block
When
out for a week. So like this gets done per week, this gets done per week, this gets done per week.
I block the same time every day, first thing in the morning. I block 7 to 9, but if I wake up earlier, I just start earlier. But 7 to 9 is when I write every day. That's what I do. And then the other things that I need to do, I schedule in between. Like I schedule, sometimes I have meetings and sometimes I have other things or interviews or whatever, but everything else gets scheduled after I schedule the writing time. So that's what I do.
That's smart. I should do that.
Thanks. It was
here we
that
go.
book that I read, that Make Time book, which is like schedule the most important thing first. And
Yes.
since I started doing that, I have been insanely more productive. And it really works for me. And I actually really love it because then I don't spend a lot of my week wishing I could write. I've actually knocked that out first thing in the day when I'm fresh. And then you're like, oh my God, I wrote 25,000 words this week. Like it's so much, you're so much more productive when you do it. And I schedule it like during the good time, like the time when I'm most productive, most excited about doing it.
For like a year, I was in 2021, I was from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I was drawing this graphic novel. And that was the only time that I could find to work on that novel, like was that coffee time.
So,
and it was really productive.
Cool.
Dad was asking if we had any tips because she says she's not good at week planning. And Dad, I think for us to really answer that, we'd have to know what you're trying to do, so that way we could suggest
Or
things.
what you're doing. What are you doing now that is so bad?
Those are good. Yeah. So what are you doing now that's not working, and what are you trying to plan? You know what? That's a really great question to leave for a sprint. So why don't we do one more sprint?
What?
Sarah didn't have another sprint plan. She was only going to do 2.
Is that right?
I thought you were just going to keep talking and I was going to let you talk, but hold on.
No. I want to do another sprint, but I think while we're doing the sprint, Doll can tell us what it is that she's trying to plan during the week and what is it she's doing now that's not working.
All right, pulling it up. What Lisa wants, Lisa gets. There we go.
All right. And then we can also answer, like Sky had some
Sky has some pretty good ideas.
Yeah. And Ginny Noble's got some thought. Yeah. So let's do that.
All right. So we'll come back and we'll circle everybody's answers. And hopefully, I'm going to warn you guys, I keep getting a low Wi-Fi signal over here. So if I disappear, that's why. Okay. So brace yourselves. But we'll go ahead and we'll do one last round of 15 minutes, and then that will kind of bring us close to the top of the hour. So we won't really be able to go through all the comments, but we'll definitely kind of summarize them. So we'll go ahead and start this last one in 3, 2, 1. I'll see you in 15. Okay, so that's time. Feel free to share what you did, and all that goodness. Sneaking in a final productivity sprint. Lisa, what were you thinking? Making us productive.
I know. I'm on it today, though. I'm really excited. I love a fresh month. You know that about me.
That's good too. So what did you get done then?
I got a lot of the marketing activities transferred from Notion to on what days am I going to do this, and trying to think about other things that I have scheduled in particular for this week, because I have a lot of little tasks that are left over that I really need to get rolling this week. So I think next week is not going to be as bad. I'm trying to figure out like what are things I can put off till a little later, what are things that need to be done right now. So that's what I did.
Don't mind him. That's Ranger. He's talking to the squirrels. What about you, Saka? What'd you get done?
I mostly hung out in the chat and ate chips.
Super productive. Okay, good job.
What about you, Amy?
I finished making the list of everything that I wanted to get done in the month.
Good.
I made a wellness thing in my Notion. After all this talk about wellness, I was like, I should probably like get back on that pony. So
yeah, the wellness pony. You used to be like the spokesperson for the wellness pony.
Until life sent me to Eeyorville, and I just kind of stayed there for a little while. So,
oh shit.
It's good though that you're thinking about this stuff again and adding it back into your schedule. So before we go, should we pop up Doll had an answer at 9:35 about what she was struggling with this.
Yeah, I totally wanted to go over that. I wasn't gonna skim over it.
I didn't think you were gonna ditch her or anything. I just was looking right at the comment. I thought I'd give you the timestamp since there's a lot of other people down below. So
you said at 8:35?
8:35 your time, yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah.
I'm
in the past where we don't have flying cars like you do.
I know, right? So Doll, I think that Carol actually has an answer for you for this. Because it's Caro's awesome advice. It's my favorite Caro advice, or among my favorite Caro advice. Go ahead.
My Caro advice is anytime you plan something, also plan like you're going to be like puking, vomiting every day. Like you have the worst case of the flu, whatever. Because what happens is whenever we decide that we want to make plans, it's usually when we're in a period of high energy. So we start writing checks that we can't cash. But as long as you keep in mind that your energy level is going to be at the same as whenever you're like really horribly sick, then you'll always be able to accomplish what it is that you need to do.
Yes. It's not that you're failing at the amount of tasks. You're failing at bending time. I myself struggle with failing at bending time. I scheduled 57 things in a space where I can accomplish 6. And
I top myself out at 3.
Yeah. The thing is it's hard when and this is my danger for this week, right? Because I said I have a lot of like small things and I am time challenged as far as I have no concept of how long anything is. Mike will always give me a hard time and say because I'll say, oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Could be 5 minutes, could be 4 hours.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I just don't have any is it time already? Yeah, that's me. So I too struggle with this. Yeah. I too struggle with that. But that's the thing is if you're setting a goal to get, say, 10 tasks done, then and you're not making it every week, then you've got too many tasks on your list. So take it down to 5, take it down to 3, take it down until you've got something that's reasonable. And then the other thing is if you have a like I always think, oh, I can edit that video in 45 minutes. It's not that long.
Oh,
And then it
I
takes
hate
17
it
hours.
when I do that to myself.
Right?
Oh my God.
So one of the things that you can do to solve that is take an average. Basically, just time how long it takes you to record, to edit, to whatever your next 3 videos or your next 3 big tasks that you want to accomplish.
And make an average.
And take an average of that and go, okay, I know it takes me an average of 10 hours to do this task. So I'm not going to schedule 2 hours to accomplish that.
Yeah, it's
For me
always.
to
So that's mine.
go ahead.
No, go on. No, go on.
For me, I sometime probably like I started using it every day for the last quarter of last year, and it works really well. I've implemented the rolling weekly to-do list.
That is wonderful.
Right? And I do 2 things, and this is just what I do to cope. But I do take the time to write out everything that I want to get done that week. And then if I have any deadlines, I of course make sure that I schedule for those deadlines. Like if a client is expecting something on Tuesday, because that's my weekly meeting with them, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But other than that, kind of to a point that Lisa made earlier in the stream where you do your most important things first. I do the things I can't stop thinking about first. It doesn't matter if it's I need to clean the refrigerator and I can't stop thinking about it, or if I need to organize these folders in my drive because I can't stop thinking about it. Whatever is occupying my mind, I get that done first, even if it's something that can totally wait. If it's going to nag me, I have to get it done, especially if I have creative work to do. So I do those first, and then I really am like absolutely in love with the rolling weekly, because beside from client deadlines, the rest of my life is pretty much self-paced. I don't have a lot of outside or other deadlines for household stuff. So as far as balancing work with domestic life, I just look at that rolling weekly spread, and that's what I do. The things that have deadlines, I schedule those. Other than that, I do the things that I can't stop thinking about, and then I just roll over that weekly list. And if you're also a person like me who makes lists and lists and lists and lists and lists, like I have a list of everything that I need to do for every project with every client. It's part of my, how I said, always leave a project where you know what you're about to do next.
Right.
It's really easy for me to go, okay, I've done this. Now I move over to that, because I have my lists, my little lists of all the little things I need to do to finish the bigger project. So I think weekly and get the stuff that you can't stop thinking about out of the way.
See, I would totally like if my pantry is a disaster, but also I need to do writing, even if my pantry is a disaster, I approach it like at the end of the day, am I going to be really happy I wrote for 2 hours, or I'm going to be which at the end of the day, the week, the month, the year, which one of those things is going to matter more to me? And you just focus. For me, I focus on the thing that's more important overall, big thing in my life. But for Doll, she was talking about, she said, I scheduled tasks for each day. Carol popped it up earlier, but I'm not going to ask you to go back. She said, I scheduled tasks for each day of the week. I fail at the amount of tasks I'm adding each day and the time. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I went down. So she was saying that sometimes she has a low energy day, and basically she feels bad if she didn't accomplish anything on her list. And one of the things that you can do is not make everything on your list a big thing. Sometimes we have those little niggling things that are
a to-done list.
Well,
right. To-done list.
Or you have something that's going to take you 5 minutes, and put some of those things on your list, like those things that sort of nag at you that you've got to do, but that are not going to be something big. So if you do have a low energy day, you can get something accomplished. It's something that's going to make your life better, but it's not going to be a big project. At least you're one step further to getting stuff you want to get done.
And I always try to do monotonous, brainless stuff on low energy days. Never anything that's actually creative and going to require your brain to work on multiple levels at one time. Right. My low energy days are usually reserved for like scrubbing toilets. I don't have to think about that.
No. I know if I have like a really, really low energy day, and I mean you have a low energy day because you can't get out of bed, right? So I know when I have a day like that, like my one priority for the day is go take a shower. Like that's it. If I can go take a shower and check that box,
Right.
yeah,
That's a
it.
win. That's a win.
So
Yeah.
anyway, you are most welcome for these tips, Dal. I hope it helps you moving forward. And on that note, we have hit the 2-hour mark. Therefore, we must now do outros. So who wants to go first? I won't pick you this time. I'll let you self-select.
I can do it, and we can go backwards, back around to Kara.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Okay. I'm Amy Awesome Buddy. I'm an SEO consultant who's trying to get her career back on track.
And she has a
thank you for hosting.
Huh?
You have a website. I had to take that off my weekly to-do list. Reminding me to get a website. I had to take it off.
I have a portfolio. Okay. I don't have a website where I list like all the services and everything. I have put my portfolio together.
I feel like that's a win. You have an online presence. That's very exciting for all of us.
Yes. Thank you for the enthusiastic reminders. But yeah, I've got that. I'm trying to get back into my own social media instead of just focusing on my clients, scheduling myself as a client back to doing that. So thank you for having this. And I look forward to next time so I can schedule March.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, March. So the 6th.
The 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Boozy Plan-o-Rama. This will be my week to host, or my month to host. So that will be over on my channel. March 6th, Boozy Plan-o-Rama. Mark your calendar.
Oh, accidentally.
Marking calendar now.
No, we're not doing it next week, Carol. We're doing it next month. And then I'm going to type Lisa's turn. And I'm going to put myself a 2-day reminder to message Lisa that it's her turn.
And that's how we roll.
Yeah.
I've seen Carol's reminder list.
I know.
And it was like looking to the eyes of some magical algorithm. You know how they have in like all the movies about the math geniuses where all the little numbers are flying around their heads and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's how she does it. She literally has like a 40 or 50 item reminder list of all these things. And I'm like, I have to make a reminder list now.
Well, the reason I do it is because our brains are really good at coming up with ideas, but they're shit at remembering them. So I made a system that remembers stuff for me, and it's pretty nice. So
I love that. I do that on my phone all the time. I'm always like, remind me to call this. Remind me to do this. I use that function more than probably any other thing on my phone. Is that I need those
actually now that I think about it, Lisa has access to my second brain at this point, so that's kind of terrifying.
I'm just staying on my page. Although I did accidentally I did think that I was on mine and because like when you have more than one notion that you're working on with somebody, I was like, I'd opened something and I was like, wait, that's not me. Because we named whatever it was, we named it the same thing. And I click on it and it was just a blank page, but I was like, hold on, this is not right. At first I was like, oh my God, where did all my stuff go? And then I'm like, wait, I'm on Carol's page. This isn't right. So stay in your lane, Lisa.
Oh,
okay.
Sako. Yay, that's me. Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror and, I'm a witch and I am a graphic designer. And sometimes I combine those three things. If you're interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voight. And it's not just me talking, it's also people like Lisa and Barrett and a bunch of other awesome other tubers who have something to say on the topic. So you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Yay, Doll. Yay, Claude. Yay. We're so glad. Yay. I'm very proud of you, Doll. That's awesome. I'm Lisa Daly. I write romantic comedies and nonfiction writing and dating advice. And over on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And if you're interested in those things, I would love to see you over there. All right. And I'm the co-host of the Boozy Plan-o-Rama with my good friend, Carol Brown.
She gets way more boozy than I do.
I've only had like this much. I've done too much chit chatting, not enough drinking. Okay, go ahead.
Don't worry. Next time it will actually no, because when you host, you're all in the chat, so you'll be drinking even less than.
I know. I'm a lightweight. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author. I wrote those books over there on the wall, and I write more books like them. In fact, those ones on that wall are the ones I'm writing this year. So sometimes I post videos here, sometimes I don't. I try to host a stream once a week right now, and that's about as active as I'm going to be. Thank you so much for coming. It was really good to see you guys giving suggestions and supporting each other and helping Dal out, troubleshoot how she's going to plan moving forward. I think I'm supposed to say something super motivating, like I believe in you, but I don't really have like a great speech this late at night, other than I'm just grateful that you guys came to hang out with us. So I'm going to hit this button that says end broadcast and not leave the studio like I normally do. You're making me act effort. All right, I'm gonna click the button. Thanks, you guys, and you have a good week. Bye.
Thanks for being here, everybody.